So as of writing this, Melty Blood Type Lumina has just been released, and I'm really enjoying my time with it. And after one internet shitstorm, the game being out for literally only 2 days, and some controversial system mechanic can say that this is the most fun I've had in a fighting game in a while, and it convincingly takes the title of the wackiest fighting game I've ever played. But first, what even is Melty Blood?
Got it. Mashing Button Master is Evolution Champion.
Well, basically, Melty Blood is a spin-off of a visual novel. The visual novel doesn't really matter, just picture if Nekopara was turned into a fighting game. The game was really popular in certain circles of the FGC and is most well known as a poverty fighting game. Melty Blood always had a small cult following, but it started getting a bit more mainstream appeal, and combined with French Bread's other games getting a lot more popular, this led to Type Lumina being announced. And this was far from expected. Every Melty Blood player collectively lost their minds after hearing this. It was so hype. Side note to this, Melty Blood is where that cat comes from, and I'm only really mentioning this so I can say that I liked Neko before it was cool. So yeah, that's Melty Blood. It's a 3-button fighter with auto combos, and I know, yeah, auto combos suck. That's what I thought too, but this is probably the best auto combo system I've played with. It's pretty much like Dragon Ball FighterZ, but better. Goku! But the auto combos, the characters, the music, that doesn't matter. I mean, I like all of that stuff, but that doesn't matter. But the 3 things that make this game distinct and therefore wacky is the movement, the universal mechanics, and the meter. It's way more similar to traditional anime fighters, so that means there's no delayed air dashing or super dashing. You can air dash and you can jump in midair, so movement is pretty freeformed, and also you got this big hop. So, you know, that's cool. All of this movement means everyone's always jumping like crazy, so you hear the term air footsies thrown around a lot, and that's just kind of to attest to how good the air movement is. But the thing that makes it most interesting to me is you can't block grounded attacks while you're in the air, so if somebody keeps jumping around like a Mape player, just swat that pesky player out of the sky. This movement was a breath of fresh air, since it seems like anime fighters nowadays are trying to get rid of all of the cool parts of being an anime fighter, especially the movement, and Strive and Dragon Ball FighterZ are the biggest examples to me. So you have 2 meters. You have your regular bar and you have your moon meter. Starting with the moon meter, this is tied to your EX moves, your shield, and your moon drive. Moon drive is like a mix of an RC from Guilty Gear and an overdrive from Blaze Blue. I'll go into more detail about EX moves later, but you just need to know that they're a pretty big deal. The regular bar is used for supers and heat. Heat is a burst, and it also heals you when it's active, and the more meter you have, the more health you gain. And since this game has a burst, that means that everybody is going to bait your burst 24/7 so they can get a clip and post it on Twitter. And then you have Last Arcs. These are your big level 3s. These are the things that you're going to see everybody reacting to in their thumbnails. But if you have 4 meters, you can activate Blood Heat. You heal more and you gain access to a super duper level 3 that deals a shit ton of damage. Oh, and quick tip, don't hit somebody's shield if they're in Blood Heat. Now, this meter isn't revolutionary, but what makes it so awesome is that you get meter like candy, so you always have access to it. So that means that people are spamming supers, heats, and EX moves all the time, which means that there's more things that you need to pay attention to, or you'll die. And I know some of you are confused when I said 4 bars of meter because you only start the game off with 3. Well, when you lose a round, you gain an extra bar of meter. And that might make the game seem boring because you have meter all the time, but meter management is still important because of all the options the game gives you. So if, for example, like maybe you're in a combo and you want to use a super to deal some extra damage, but you have a lot of blue health, so you go for the shorter combo and then activate heat to heal. Or you use some meter to convert a stray hit into a combo, or you use some meter to make yourself safe. These are just some of the examples. There's a lot more things you can use the meter for, and that's why it's so great. The only meter that isn't that good is the moon meter, because you don't lose a lot of it for shielding. I have never had a situation where I couldn't shield or I ran out of it. Also, moon drive is just crazy. You freeze the screen and gain invincibility on all of your EX moves. This turns the game into mashing moon drive on wake up and then guessing if your opponent is American or not. Now we have reached the most controversial mechanic in the game. Beware, once you indulge in this dark art, you will never be able to play fighting games the same again. But if you are willing to risk it all, then I present to you shields can block any attack, and you have 3 types of shields. You can either stand shield, which protects you from overheads and mids, or you can crouch shield, which protects you from mids and lows, and then you can air shield, which protects you from anything that hits you while you're in the air. My main complaint is that crouch shield blocks mids, and the main reason that's messed up is because if they're in the air, you shield high, and if they're on the ground, and you shield low, and congratulations, you can't get mixed anymore. If you successfully shield, you can do a launcher, which leads into a full combo, a vanish, which teleports you behind somebody from anywhere in the screen, or you can vanish through them for a full combo. The shield mechanic is good for players who want to ignore dealing with Oki, don't like projectiles, or just forgot how to block. So, this being said, if the mechanic is so strong, then how am I supposed to beat it? Well, remember how I said you can shield any attack? Well, what if I shield their shield follow-up? And if you can shield somebody else's shield, that means that they can do it back to you. This single-handedly turns this competitive fighting game into a Mario Party minigame of guessing which attack you'll have to shield next, leading to something more similar to a Dragon Ball Xenoverse match than a competitive fighting game. And since this discovery, players have taken to calling this the rock, paper, scissors mechanic. And this turns every game into a match of chicken to see who will shield what and what option you'll have to react with. But what if I don't want to play this game? No, I don't mean uninstalling the game. That's not what I meant. I meant like not playing the minigame. What if I don't want to play the minigame? Well, don't tell anybody I told you this, but throw beats shield every time. And once you condition your opponent for the throw, you can start attacking them instead, and this will force your opponent to actually engage with the game. Other than that, if you do nothing and wait, you can attempt to punish shield with varying levels of success. And all of this also applies to the shield minigame. Shield might seem OP, but players have found ways to punish shielding all willy-nilly and making shield less of an overpowering factor in matches. So in short, shielding is a noob killer, and it's only really strong if you don't know how to deal with it. This makes looking at Twitter and seeing all the people complaining that needs to be nerfed way more funny in hindsight. But top players will still have to deal with shield and still have to deal with the shielding minigame, so the minigame is inevitable and you can't escape it. But that's not even the most messed up thing! Combined with shield, you also have to worry about moon drives, EX moves, and reversal supers, which means that there's more ways than ever to lose the game along with your mind. That being said, I love this game, and I mean it when I say it's the most fun I've had with a fighting game in a while. The mechanics might seem really stupid, but they're fun to mess around with, and since everybody has it, you have an equal playing field. This makes reading your opponent and putting them in the ground make you feel like a real genius. But what people should be complaining about is the netcode. This is some mid-tier rollback, and I keep getting random drops. This game has the Blaze Blue cross-tag tech of waiting for the intros, or else the netcode changes from rollback into dial-up. Well, at least the music is good, but there's no way French Bird would mess that up, I guess. So, if you like this video and you like hearing me talk about fighting games, make sure to subscribe to the channel.